Adventures.
Greetings once again, all. Chuke here from Chuke's Outdoor Adventures, broadcasting to you, not live, but I recorded this last night. I am in beautiful Honolulu, Waikiki Beach, on vacation here, and I had to do a video on this because, as many of you know, I'm a big lover of the 40 Smith & Wesson and the 357 SIG caliber. And a few days ago, Glock has announced discontinuing a whole bunch of models, about 50 different models. Some of them were really surprising. Some of them weren't, like the 45 Gap. I mean, that caliber is dead. The 357 SIG wasn't surprising, but I was very disappointed by that. And then what really hit me was, well, they discontinued a lot of the California models, which sucks for a lot of the folks in California because it was, you know, some of the Gen 3s that were compliant and you could get in California, and I don't know what they're going to do now. But what surprised me is the Gen 5 40 Smith & Wesson models, even the 45 Glock 30 was discontinued. And so most of the 9mm Gen 5s that had the non-traditional sight options, such as the Mariglow, were discontinued. So pretty disappointed with that. There's 40 Smith & Wesson, 357 SIG gone. Now, here is my Glock 23. It is a Gen 3. It's obviously got some aftermarket work done on it. I added the Lone Wolf barrel. It's a 4.6-inch barrel. Now I've got the Griffin Easy Lock on there, which I believe helps a little bit, even though it's around the barrel, it helps. This used to have a 357 SIG barrel in it, which I think is even, you know, better than 40 Smith & Wesson a lot of the times, but I just wanted to shoot the heavy 200 grain subsonic 40 Smith & Wesson bullets out of this, and with the can on it, so that's why I chose it. So it's got the suppressor height sights that co-witness behind the RMR, so it's cool how they cut that. But I know a lot of people will argue, and there is some validity to this. A lot of people say, well, the reason 40 Smith & Wesson is dead is because with modern ammunition, 9mm is just as good, and you're getting more capacity. It's got less recoil, and that is one thing about the 40 Smith & Wesson. It's pretty snappy, but I disagree with that argument on some counts, in that with the ultimate really high loaded plus P 40 Smith & Wesson, it's always going to be more powerful than the plus P 9mm. And so you're comparing some plus P 9mm ammo to some crummy 40 ammo. The 40 plus P really hot stuff is amazing. My case in point is when I tested the 140 grain Underwood Extreme Penetrators, I got 582 foot-pounds of energy. I mean, we're getting close to 10mm power. Not quite there, but you're getting close. With 10mm is usually in the 600s. In comparison, even Chuck said that 40 was, he admitted it was slightly better than 9mm when he compared all the extreme penetrators in his video. But the Glock 19 in another video he did got 473 foot-pounds of energy, the 9mm extreme penetrator, so well below the 582 foot-pounds of energy that I got in that 40 Smith & Wesson. So the 40 Smith & Wesson, just so much can be done with it. So I'm pretty bummed out that they're discontinuing these. Let's look at some police departments that still use the 40 Smith & Wesson. Now, some of these, it may have changed. I know a lot of big agencies, FBI and stuff, in 2010 you know, they all switch from 40 to 9mm, and we still have, every day we have agencies switching from 40 and 357 SIG to 9mm. So some of these may have already switched, but let's look at a few police departments still using 40 as of 2022. Now, one of the main reasons that they switched to 9mm, a lot of departments, is for cost. Obviously, for training, 9mm a lot cheaper, and there is the recoil. A lot of them did it because of the recoil, but mainly it was just because of cost, and rookies usually start off with 9mm. They give their rookies. Thankfully, a lot of departments, like even departments here in Alaska, you'll see the older cops still using 40 and 45, very common, and they're allowed, as long as they can qualify with the pistol of their choice, they can carry 45 and 40, and many of them choose that over 9mm because they know it's a superior round. So as of 2022, of course, in 2022, the LAPD switched from the Glock 22 chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson to the FN 509, which I like that FN 509. It's very compact, and you really get a grip on it. So Philadelphia Police Department allows the Glock 22 in 40 cal and the Glock 21 in 45. I'm also a fan of the 45 ACP, if you haven't noticed. So Houston Police Department, largest police department in Texas, allows officers to carry a large array of 40 caliber Glocks, including you know, a SIG P229, P226, which is hammer fired. Big fan of that. Glock 22 or Glock 23. But the rookies in that department will get a 9mm, Glock 17, Glock 19. The Dallas Police Department allows officers to carry the Glock 31, Glock 32, and Glock 33 in 357 SIG, so that's great. Boston cops can still choose between a wide array of Glocks, but they can choose between all of the Glocks in 40 Smith & Wesson. So I'm sure some of these departments may have switched over to 9mm, because let's face it, we live in this modern day and age where everybody's switching to 9mm, but I just don't think it's a good idea for Glock to discontinue all the Gen 5 40 Smith & Wesson models. Very disappointing. There is a little silver lining here. The good news is that we're never going to really run out of 40 Smith & Wesson pistols from Glock because of all the police trade-ins. I mean, to this day, we can get the older Gen 3 and Gen 4 police trade-ins. Now we're going to be able to get even more. And then you can always do what I did. I took that beautiful Gen 3 Glock 23 and I got a Lone Wolf barrel for it. I've got two Lone Wolf barrels, one in 357 SIG, but I'm currently using that 40 Smith & Wesson Lone Wolf barrel. I'm getting a better lockup, so that's one of the reasons why I've got increased power, just because those Lone Wolf barrels, you've got a better lockup, you've got better chamber support, and then a little bit of length. So that's the good news, is you know, we're still going to be able to get the pistols, but I just don't like how all the companies are just running to make everything in micro 9 and just phasing out the 40 and 357 SIG. I kind of understand, because that's one we're still fighting to keep, but a lot of them are just only making stuff in 9mm. Now, another good thing about having a 40 Smith & Wesson is every time we get one of these ammo crunches, the 9mm dries up like that, and you're able to buy 40 Smith & Wesson on the shelves for a very long time after the 9mm has dried up. So Chuck from Alaska Ballistics even told me to do that, just buy 357 Magnum and 40 Smith & Wesson when the 9mm was gone. And I did that, and I was able to you know, stock up on the 40 Smith & Wesson. So that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think. I know there's a lot of people that don't like the 40 Smith & Wesson. I think it's a great round and it's better than 9mm. I still like 9mm for training and for carry and for capacity, and I like a lot of the micro 9s that are coming out. I don't dislike the 9mm, but what I have been carrying regularly throughout the winter and spring is that Glock 23 and 40 Smith & Wesson. I think it's a superior round. So I know that's not a popular thought, but that's just how I feel. It's what I do. So let me know what you guys think. I will actually have a video up Saturday of Smith & Wesson Shield 2.0 with the 357 SIG barrel, that little 3-inch barrel, and we'll show you what kind of power I'm getting out of it. So thanks for tuning in, guys. It's Chuke, your friend in the field.
My name is Chuke. I like to trade my guns just for fun, but now I have none. Oh, look, get shot by a bear, but I don't care. I got a 10mm. Chuke's Outdoor Adventures. Watch you outside every time.